Good morning from Little Buffalo State Park. And a beautiful view of pine trees this morning. Looks like there's a little bit of mist, ground fog out there, but looks to be a beautiful day to explore this park. We'll take a look at some of the early morning views.
Daybreak on Holman Lake. I'm out earlier than usual for me, but I wanted to see this as the sun rose over these rolling hills and mountains. The last hour of daylight is known as the golden hour, as colors tend to be highlighted by the setting sun, a favorite time for photographers. But today, this is also a very golden hour. I'm using no filters, no color enhancement. This is what I and the camera are seeing. I am definitely glad I came down the hill this morning. Today on GreatPlacesSeen, Part 2 of Little Buffalo State Park. I'm staying 3 days and 4 nights, but 2 days are in Hershey for the annual RV show. That leaves today as my only day to really explore Little Buffalo State Park. The lake is named after Allen Holman, a member of Pennsylvania's House of Representatives who was a key figure in the park's opening. It's about 88 acres, created in 1972 with a large earthen dam on Little Buffalo Creek. Although man-made, you can see it's very picturesque. The park lists 20 bird species that are year-round residents, and another 60 that visit as they migrate in seasons other than winter. In the water are several kinds of fish, and lots of animals call the surrounding area home. There was plenty of water here before the lake. Underneath are interbedded shales, siltstones, and some very fine-grained sandstone. These rocks were laid down between 380 and 390 million years ago in a shallow sea. It was very much alive then as it is now. Many fossil remains have been found here. Legend has it this area was also home to buffalo, or more accurately bison. We associate these large, roaming animals with plains and prairies in the western United States. It's perhaps a stretch to think of them in central Pennsylvania, but if dinosaurs once lived here, well, why not herds of bison? As you have figured, they are the inspiration for the name Little Buffalo. Not much is known about the early inhabitants of the valley who began these legends, other than they dated back to about 10,000 years, and Native Americans remained through the Revolutionary War. History aside, this is a wonderful place to watch wake up. The mist is ever-changing, ever-flowing. It alone is fascinating to watch. Along the water's edge are so many plants that blend in with the surroundings, until you look a bit closer and realize several stand out quite a bit. Little Buffalo State Park is in Newport, Pennsylvania, about a half-hour up the road along the Juniata and Susquehanna rivers from the state capital Harrisburg. It's one of the smallest state parks I've been in, but it has a lot of diverse things to do and see for such a concentrated area. You really don't get the feeling it's small. Well, the big lake in the middle helps. The park is framed by 2 ridges. The campground is on the northern side, about 200 feet above the lake. There are a lot of trees, so you don't have a view from up there, and while it's certainly possible to hike, Driving to the wide shoulder areas along the lake is so easy. The mist is burning off as the sun moves higher. The opposite side of the park is empty at this hour, and also in the middle of the week this time of year. You know, kids are back to school, parents are working, and many of these areas are edging closer to a quiet winter. Right now, I'm off to see historic areas of the park that we saw in the previous video. If you like this channel, there's a second one. It's me with a lot of extra random videos you might enjoy. It's free to subscribe to both, and helps those YouTube computers suggest my videos to you and others. Already late in the afternoon, I'm heading to the west side of the park to take on some of the trails, you know, where the buffalo once roamed. Well, after some lunch and a brief time in the trailer just relaxing, I'm back out. I'm going to do a combination of trails. I'm going to do the Fisherman's Trail, which will connect me to one end of the Buffalo Ridge Trail, which is supposed to be a fairly difficult trail, we'll find out. And that'll take me all along this ridge line back up here and return me to this parking area. That's a squirrel taking a nap. Looks like he's had a full day too. Alright, starting out on Fisherman's Trail. The golden hour seems like a nice time to walk this direction. This is a nice little park, just tucked away in between a couple of Pennsylvania ridges. The only thing that I really don't care for in the park is the fact that you have a main road that bisects it and runs right along the lake. So there's always a lot of traffic there. And there are other local roads on either side of it. It's a very narrow park, so you hear a lot of traffic noise. But, you know, other than that, it's a pretty little park. Huge trees along this trail. This is perhaps one of the easier trails. And then I'm going to go to one of the hardest. Not all of the trails in this park are blazed. This one is. And I don't know, if I had to pick a trail that didn't need blazing, it's probably this one. I just saw an eagle through the trees, but being through the trees, there was no way to really get them on camera. I had heard there were a couple of eagles flying around here, and I can confirm that now. This little walk in the woods goes as far as the eye can see. Even though there are a fair number of trees along the trail, you get clear views through, which is really nice. What I really like about this park is the use it gets. I'm staying here during the middle of the week, and there are a lot of people using this park. A lot of the local residents here come out and they walk the road along the lake, or they run. I've seen people skating, cycling, out on the water, fishing. It's certainly not anywhere near the capacity that the parking areas would suggest, but it is being used on a regular basis. And that's always nice to see when a park is well used by residents, because that's what they're here for. You know me, always looking for what I call mini worlds. Overlook Mile. I overlooked this on the map. I didn't see that, but I've got all kinds of arrows saying go this way. I don't think this is quite what I'm looking for. I'm going to have to double check my map here.
The sign said that's an easy trail, but it doesn't look easy to me. I think I'm going to stay on Fisherman's. One of the other unexpected surprises was running into a fellow camper in the campground route who is staying here for the Hershey RV show. I thought I was probably the only one a little crazy enough to stay an hour away and then drive down to Hershey, but it's nice to know that I wasn't too crazy in my thinking about coming here. Although I would have come here just for this park. The park by itself is a great trip. As advertised, Fisherman's Trail comes out by the dam. And near the dam is the end of the Little Buffalo Ridge Trail. Boy, isn't this just pretty this time of day? That is a gorgeous view. Well, this says Mill Overlook.
Looking down from the top of the dam is Waycar number 12, which, as you saw in the last video, is being refurbished, and it's currently not open to go inside.
It appears they got their stairs in, at least. Well, I could take that little trail up, but I don't see it on the map, and it doesn't say it connects to the trail that I want, which I know is off to my right a little way, so I'm going to go that way.
Dropping down from the top of the dam is the rail car, once a maintenance car that ran on a narrow gauge line from the old mill along what is now a footpath and on through where the lake now sits.
There's my trail. Here we go. Most difficult. It's at least most narrow. All right, here we go. Starting the ascent. An immediate switch back. Oh yeah, we're going up. Yeah, up and over. I may have mentioned I am still working out a hip injury from my last marathon, which is now just about a year ago. And so a trail like this is a bit more of a challenge than perhaps it used to be, especially when I have to climb over trees. It at least appears to be a very well-used trail. Pretty worn, which is helpful because I don't feel like getting stuck in the middle of the woods here as the sun is going down. At least I have white blazes to follow. Fresh pokeberry. That'll make everything you touch purple. There are many downed trees in this forest, but it's nice to see there's plenty of new growth as well. New growth on a downed tree. So far I'd rate it as most difficult because of the climb and because of all of these roots. Walking over these is never easy. Very kind of the Park Service to put a bench up here. I don't need it, but it's nice that it's here. Although you can't really see it on camera, I can see through the trees all the way down to the lake from this vantage point on the ridge. So at least I know I'm not too far away from civilization. Of course, it's a small park, so anywhere you are in the park, you're not too far away from a road or a house. And clearly looking off to my left, I'm not on the top of the ridge. That goes up a fair bit. This trail really doesn't seem terribly bad, so if I'm able to finish it with a fair bit of sunlight left, I may tackle another trail. I am getting plenty of rocks through this little section. This is almost shades of the Appalachian Trail. Pennsylvania on the Appalachian Trail is often referred to as Rocksylvania. It really is not that rocky here. A lot of thick moss lining this side of the trail. Looks like woodpeckers have been here. There's not much to see other than the trail itself and the trees directly around you, but it is a really nice, quiet, scenic trail, especially this time of the evening. There's nobody out here. They're all out on the easier trails. It's nice this time of evening as well because it was a fairly warm day. Yeah, it was in the 80s, and out in the sun it was just darn hot. All right, we just kind of lost the path here with this tree and these rocks. Let's see where we go here. Perhaps this way. I haven't really seen any large wildlife out here, but then again, I'm not exactly in stealth mode with a camera and busy talking to you. So I'm sure that will tend to scare away any animals of significance. Here's an interesting choice. They offer you a shortcut to the main area, or in this section you can continue up, and it says another 1.5 miles. Yeah, I'm rather tempted to take the shortcut and do another trail, although I don't know how much shorter it really is, and I'm going to end up in the same place anyway, so I'm going to go up here amongst these rocks and see what the rest of the trail looks like. Now it's becoming more Appalachian Trail-like. This is about the top of the ridge, so the sunlight is still hitting it. And actually, judging by what I'm seeing through the trees, I've got a good bit of daylight left. Beautiful evening light coming through the trees as the ridge trail is now descending. This is a really cool canopy of young pine trees. Adolescence. Oh, it looks like I'm down to the cross-country skiing and snowmobile trails. A nice big swath through the woods, although Buffalo Ridge apparently continues. Well, I'm getting into this little valley here. There's a creek down there. Trail a little wider, a little smoother. Well, there is light over the horizon. I believe I'm getting close. Well, there through the trees is a little service building. That means I have successfully completed the trail, and I'm very near the parking lot of my car. Good hike. There's a big pavilion picnic area back here in the woods. I do believe that's my ride. As much as I might like to try another trail right now, I'm going to lose the light pretty fast, so Maybe in the morning.
With the second trip to Hershey, there wasn't enough time for another trail.
Good morning from Little Buffalo State Park. It's time for me to leave, so I'm packing up and getting ready to hitch up. A beautiful little park. I've enjoyed my stay here, and I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Safe travels to you wherever you may be going, and I'll see you on the next adventure.
Friday, ahead of the weekend, and the camp host has just pulled out. Well, you know it's time to leave.
One last view of the lake before a few hours drive home on another very nice travel day. Thanks as always for coming along for the ride.